Hi, it's Jen with Astrology. Welcome back to the channel, and we are discussing the weekly astrological forecast for August 6th through 12th. Now, this is actually take number 2, because as I was finishing up the last video, my cat Bean, the little dark one, he came in and stepped and totally turned off the video, and I didn't even realize it. So let's hope this one goes a little bit better. So let's go. Starting on the 6th, we have the Sun in Leo in a square to Jupiter in Taurus. So we have the Sun over here in Leo, square to Jupiter in Taurus. So these, as you can see, are in two fixed signs. So that is the square. They're 90 degrees apart. So you know, if they're both in the same modality, they're both in fixed signs, 90 degrees apart, that is a square. So the Sun is your will, your vitality, your identity. With the Sun in Leo, it's a focus on you being in the forefront, kind of this, you're the sun, the everything else revolves around you. So, if you're a Leo, this is especially going to be felt. So this is going to be squaring Jupiter. Jupiter is about abundance, is about, that kind of overreaching, overextending, kind of bigger, better, expansion. So with a square again, like I've said in past videos, it's kind of that uncomfortable feel. So this may mean that you might be taking something a little bit too far. Something kind of gets out of hand or out of control. You might be feeling out of control. So are you setting your sights a little bit too high? Are you overextending yourself? You look at the signs that they're in. This is kind of, heart-based. It's in Taurus, which is kind of, financially based, or, it's ruled by Venus, so that could be relationship based, it could be financial based. So is there something that you've kind of overextended yourself? It may be trying to help out, investing money somehow that maybe was a bit too much, that kind of might have fallen through. So you kind of want to be careful with this aspect, especially I think when it comes to finances. Leo is kind of that leader. It's the head of the family. It's the head of the pride. Someone that's kind of going over the top to maybe help somebody else. So kind of loaning money or something could end up getting bit. So you kind of want to be careful of that. So Leo again is the leader. And then in the sun represents father or father figure, or a male kind of role model. So I wonder if on a global scale with this square to Jupiter, will something happen to a prominent male role model, a male that's in power, like a king or someone of prominence. So maybe if they try and get too big, by taking something too far, are they metamorphically going to get dethroned ultimately? So we'll kind of put things into perspective as we get, towards the end of the video, and we'll see the way the week kind of plays out. It's a pretty interesting week. So again, this could be something that's in the making. This is, again, like I said on a previous video about the retrogrades, which I'll put a link to. If you haven't watched that, I'll put a link to that in the description so you can check that out. But with everything being retrograde this month, by the end of this month, so things are moving kind of slow. And even the planets that are moving direct, they're starting to slow down, because they're going to start to slow down so they can station and then move into their backward motion. So this is going to be kind of a month of looking back. So what's simmering? What have we looked back on? Kind of maybe, things that, maybe people have done wrong when you're thinking of going back and kind of looking into something, kind of, doing a little investigative research on something, and then something starts to be found, things start to come out, things start to trickle out, things start simmering, and nothing's really kind of come to a boil until more the mid-September, October. But I think we're going to start hearing like little things coming out about, ooh, this happened before, here's what's going on here, here's what's going on there. So that might prove to be kind of interesting. Keep your eyes on the news for that one. So on the 8th, we have, again, talked about this in a previous video, which I can also leave a link in the description just so you can get brushed up on it if you didn't see it. So we have the Lionsgate portal is at its peak, and that is on Tuesday the 8th. So you want to really, really manifest that positivity, manifest your goals. Manifesting positivity is going to just expand, exhale that, inhale good karma. You want to manifest your goals, open your heart. These goals should be heart-based. Open that up, verbalize what you're trying to manifest. Verbalizing things sometimes brings them to more of a fruition, kind of brings them to reality. So I have a really interesting story about what's going on in my family right now. My husband's family actually just lost a very great man last week. He was very helpful, especially with people that were substance abusers, and he was a sponsor, and he would always go to meetings, and he would really take these people and try and counsel them and help them and get them into the rehab they needed to go to. I heard that he had set up a program for some. So unfortunately he passed last week. But when you think about this Lionsgate portal, it's about this manifestation of your goals. Now, his goal seemed in life, because he dedicated his life to helping these people, that it's so fitting, because his wake just happens to be tomorrow night during all this, when everybody's going to come and thank him and appreciate him and memorialize him for the things that he did to help people. And those people will then help other people with what they learned and how he helped them. They can pass that along to who they find that are in need, and pass along the knowledge that they, think of that Chiron, pass along what you've learned that maybe you couldn't heal yourself, but he helped you heal. You pass that along and help somebody else. These programs that are going to be kind of, taking his legacy into infinity. And you think of that 8, the 8, that's the infinity sign. You put an 8 on its side, it's pretty much the infinity sign. So he's going to live on with this legacy, and I just found it so fitting. Of all days, that's the day that his wake is on, and it's just really great. So next on the 9th, we have Venus, that's in Leo right here, and that is in a square with Uranus, that's in Taurus right here. So here again, we have the 90 degrees, and they are in both in fixed signs. So I feel that emphasis is really put on that they are in these fixed signs. So Uranus isn't quite as quick to make the abrupt changes that you're so used to seeing when, Uranus hits something in your chart. If it was in cardinal signs, I'd be a little more kind of concerned. Even in mutable signs, like any changes you kind of go with might be a little easier to handle, but these are in fixed signs. So I would think structurally you want to watch out a little bit. They're also both in animal signs, which a lot of these are animal signs, except Libra, that is the scales. It's like the only one that's kind of really not a living creature. But these are both animals that are living, breathing on our world. We all are familiar with them. We're all familiar with what a lion is, so Venus is in that Leo the lion. All eyes on me, strut my stuff, fluff my mane, here I am woman, hear me roar. And then we have the Uranus that is in Taurus. So Taurus is more the workhorse, kind of that slow and steady, grounded, practical. That's the foundation. That's the foundation right here. With Uranus right there, your relationships might be put to the test if it is about relationships. Also, it could be about money. So you want to just be careful, again, with that overextending. Because of the sun square to Jupiter, you don't want to overextend too much. Something bad might happen, especially, a great example of that would be, say you invest a lot of money in the stock market. All of a sudden something happens, the stock that you have kind of crashes, goes way down, you lose a lot of money. Those kind of things are very Uranus because it happens like that. Uranus and Taurus, that's a big change. You lose a lot of money really quickly. As far as if it's with the Venus, the ruler of Taurus being the Venus, that's the relationship side. If you're in a relationship, and if there's cracks in that foundation, that Taurus-y foundation, what is Uranus going to do? Is it going to make those cracks get bigger? Kind of like an earthquake. You have that seismic activity, you have the little plates together, and then Uranus kind of, breaks them apart, makes it bigger, the crack gets bigger. Kind of on your windshield, you have like, a rock hits your windshield, it's a little tiny crack for a little while, all of a sudden you go over a bump and it's huge. So, how is this going to play out? Any cracks in your foundation, your relationships, you kind of want to watch that because this could create even bigger problems. You want to watch that wandering eye, watch out for, things coming up that, revelations coming to light that, that have to spur action. Like you find something out, well, I can't just sit back and ignore it anymore. I have to do something about it. Again, this is more of a simmery feel, I feel like, instead of an abrupt change. Even though it is Uranus in there, I feel like it's kind of more, you're going to find something out and, so, that Venus in Leo, it desires attention. Don't let that Uranus make you make bad decisions. Don't make the attention that you want. It should be good attention, not bad attention. You always want to have good attention. Bring positivity in, and get rid of the bad. So on a mundane level, I feel like, rumors of celebrity breakups, rumors of, stuff like that coming out, oh, this one, was just hearing that gossip, and you hear about that all the time with people, that are celebrities. I think people always try and, take them down a notch, like what I said, dethrone, because they're so elite, they're so up here, people are, enamored by them, so, they're so, oh, what's going on with them, is something bad, maybe their life isn't so perfect. So, see what happens there. So, also on the 9th, we have a Mercury that's in Virgo, and that is in a trine to Jupiter in Taurus. Now, a trine, so that's in Virgo, that's an earth sign. See, it's a little bit close, but that's 'cause I'm just trying to get everything to fit. Trine to another earth sign, which is Taurus. So trines are more of that kind of that happy, light, easy flowing aspect. So it's a nice stable trine in the earth signs, stability, earthy, practicality that could really thwart off any of that potential damage that happened with that Venus square or with the sun square with Jupiter. So, if it was money issues, maybe kind of get a little more practical, kind of figure it out. So you have like kind of the bad energy and then this energy that's going to come and kind of fix it. So that's what I mean about how this month is more of kind of a simmery action, like nothing so over the top I don't feel is really going to happen this month, but you could see things and then things trying to get fixed with this nice aspect. You got to watch the Mercury in Virgo because it can cause you to get a little bit nitpicky. Mercury, Virgo is kind of that perfectionist. It goes, wants to do things step by step, wants things to be perfect, kind of that perfectionist. Mercury being in there, it is in its home sign, but it could, it has a way of maybe like wanting things perfect and kind of, projecting more negativity out because of that kind of perfectionist way. So, we also have Mars that's, kind of in that close, and it's kind of on that separating trine with Jupiter. So that's the spontaneity. So, get down to the nitty gritty, Virgo. Find out what the problems are. Find out what makes things tick. Where's the problem? That is in, say, our relationship and our finances. And really, fine tune and try and fix that. I think with that Mars, what can you do spontaneously to kind of do something big for somebody, to really, express your love? We've got Venus in here, we got Venus going retrograde, we got, Mars, and we got Jupiter, all kind of in close proximity and aspect. So what can you do to really, do something on a grandiose level to show someone that you really care about them, to express your feelings for them? It doesn't have to be something huge. Maybe come home with a bouquet of flowers and, hey, honey, I know we haven't been getting along, but let's kind of start fresh. Let's wipe the slate clean. Do something big to really show that you want that nice change. You want that happiness. You want that nice trine, that nice happy energy. So we look at what's coming next. This is the way, I just love the way this week kind of flows. It's just like a little bit of stresses, and then everything kind of starts going nicey-nicey. Because on the 12th, we have the Sun in a trine to Chiron. I don't have Chiron up here, but anyway, so we have the Sun still in Leo. And so when you think about Chiron, that's a past hurt. So put those two energies together. Put that that Mars and Jupiter, in that nice trine. Put those all together to kind of, take something that you might have said, that Mars, nitpicky or something like that. Oh, house isn't clean enough, honey, or whatever, anything that may have been something that caused past hurt. Maybe nitpicking on someone's weight, or something that has hurt somebody that, maybe that can help us heal. The Sun helps us to heal, it helps us to grow. So how can we help our relationships to heal and grow? You want to, release that old baggage, get rid of it, make those issues a little more manageable, instead of just that something that's that bubbling cauldron back there that we might have been going on earlier in the week. Let's kind of try and work on how we can help somebody. We help somebody like that Chiron to get rid of those past hurts. So on a mundane level, how can you see this playing out with the issues that are going on in the world now? So I took some notes and I put some examples down. So one seems kind of like the most obvious of everything that's going on this week, the beginning of the week anyway. We had the indictment of the former president, Donald Trump. So this is a lot, it reminds me a lot of, he's kind of the forerunner in the Republican Party right now, as far as the who's going to be running in the next election. He's kind of is he going to be the one that gets kind of knocked off his throne? So I mean, that it's right there. I mean, it doesn't mean that he's going to be, but is he? Did he try and get too big, and that's going to kind of knock him down? So that's kind of, one way to look at it. There's also, these things coming out about our current president, Joe Biden. So, with him kind of in cahoots with other leaders, with his son, and kind of, corruption, is he going to get knocked down? Is more going to come out about that? What's simmering right now in the pot that's going to, boil over once we hit, later in the fall, like in October. So these, or is it nothing really? It's just, you see that bubbling cauldron. Who knows what's going to happen? Again, this is just things that are kind of getting started. There's a couple of ideas that I had about that in particular early in the week, that square there, what that square with the Sun and Jupiter. I found those two to be pretty much spelling it out of things that are kind of bubbling up right now. So then we think of Venus in Leo, and we have Lilith in there, also in Leo. Venus is getting pretty close. We have that Barbie movie, puts women in the forefront, women that can do anything. Again, I talked about it on a previous video, and I'm going to put links to all this. I'm going to put links to the one about the Lionsgate portal, just in case you haven't watched that. And I'll put a link to the last video that we just did as well about everything moving retrograde and what that all means. Just that way you kind of get brushed up a little bit in case you didn't catch those and you want to kind of get caught up. So, so with this, like the Barbie movie, for instance, everything's pink, everything's women. Barbie can be a pilot, she can be a doctor, she can be a whatever she wants, a mom. So that's just a woman really taking charge. Women being the head of the household, the head of the pride. That's so, Venus in Leo with that Barbie movie. Also, the Women's World Cup is going on right now. That's, again, women around the world, battling it out, with Mercury, or Mars is right there. It's in Virgo, but it's still right there. Are they battling it out to win the World Cup? Unfortunately, the U.S. women is kind of out of the picture, but we're still watching it. We're still waiting to see what happens. So good luck to whatever country ends up winning that. It's pretty exciting. I love to see women kind of shining. It's just nice to see. So finally, are we going to be seeing any big celebrity breakups with the Venus square Uranus, or big rumor mills getting started? Again, rumors getting simmered, that scandalous talk, hearing, all scandal and all that kind of stuff. I feel like it's going to be, this week is just going to be the onset of some interesting activity to come during this slow retrograde kind of month. So I think it's a great time to just kind of sit back, enjoy, get out your popcorn, and this is really going to be a cliffhanger, I feel like, until the mid-October. I think we're going to be finally seeing some things settling down. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because next week's weekly astrology forecast is going to be on location in Maine, because we are going on vacation. So I will be giving that destination forecast as well from there. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Make sure you hit that notification bell. Please subscribe, and please feel free to comment with any of your ideas of what you might see going on in the world that maybe I don't see, because I'm kind of focused on the United States. But if you're in another country, what are you seeing? So again, sit back, enjoy, and I will see you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.